Hi, my name's Ahaan. I go to Fremont High School. This is my Milestone 2. So for Milestone 2, my main goal was to hook all my components up together and get them all working using test code. So first thing I did was I built this drive base, which has a motor, two motors, a battery pack, and a switch. The switch controls the power to the motors and the H-bridge. The H-bridge pretty much controls the direction of the current for the motors. And so when I turn this on, the motors will have power, but it won't work because I don't have code running. Then I connected the H bridge to the Raspberry Pi, and I connected a breadboard to the Raspberry Pi, which has connections for my ultrasonic sensor, which detects distance. Then again, I have my Pi camera from the first milestone. So what I did is I wrote test code for all three of these components. First, the ultrasonic sensor. I wrote simple code that detects the distance of the nearest object or whatever you put in front of it. If I run this, it'll start printing the distance of the closest object. So if I put my hand here, it says it's about 2 centimeters away. But if I bring my hand farther, it'll say about 16 centimeters away. So it's that. And then next thing I did was I created code to test the motors just so that I could make sure everything was working. So with this, if I type W, my motors will start moving forward. If I type S, the motors start moving backward. If I type A, it starts turning to the left. And if I type D, it starts turning to the right. And then I have a color filter test, which pretty much filters the image that the Pi camera takes in, and it only outputs whichever color that I set these lower, higher bound values to. So it reads the pixels and makes sure that if the pixel matches the color that I want it to, then it'll go show it as white. Everything else will be shown as black. See, the wall is not red, so everything shows up as black. But the second I put the ball in front of it, the ball shows up as like a little white circle, and that's what I'm going to be using to detect the ball when there's a bunch of things around and have the robot move towards it. So some challenges I faced were that not all my components were working together the first time I put them in. My Raspberry Pi was not detecting my ultrasonic sensor, so I had to change the pin that I put it into, and then it started to work. I also had problems with my drive board where the motors would move in opposite directions. That was a quick fix. I just had to switch the wires on the H bridge. And for my Pi camera, the color filtering wasn't working, so I had to change the upper lower values so I could get pretty much what I needed. So for my next milestone, I want to mount all of this onto my drive board and start writing code that says when the robot's camera detects a ball that's like white, so like the largest white space that you see on the screen, the robot will detect the distance using the ultrasonic sensor and start moving towards it with the motor.